The Tampa Bay Buccaneers face off the Detroit Lions at Ford Field, and it is going to be a hell of a matchup. Now, do we think that Baker Mayfield is going to be able to go into Detroit and win? Because at the moment, he's a 7-point, underdog in this game. Do you think that's a little bit too much, or do you think that's kind of the ballpark of what we're expecting here? Will, first of all.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be an uphill battle, but he had like a really promising performance in the week just gone. One thing I want to highlight, and what I think is really going to affect the game, is that the Buccaneers right now have a fairly beat up secondary. I think they lost 3 to injury in week 1, and Antonio Winfield Jr. safety. I think he's out for a couple of weeks.
Antoine Winfield Jr. is doubtful.
Doubtful. Yeah.
McCollum is questionable. Josh Hayes is questionable. Starting defensive end questionable at the moment. Clyde Cansey, the other side questionable. KJ Britt questionable, but we don't know whether they. With questionables, you don't know which side. But when you've got a doubtful Antoine Winfield, it's pretty much not going to play, right?
Yeah, and also the other 3 as well, which means they're already going to be fairly deep in their depth chart. And when you're going up against guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, we've got Jameson Williams, who is basically going to have his rookie season this year, so he hasn't yet had that marquee game. This could be...
Well, no. He had the marquee game last week.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good game, but I'm like saying he could really go out. He could go off in this game, because, I mean, we know what Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to bring, but I really want to see if Jameson Williams can find that other gear, because despite Amon-Ra being the clear number 1, they did bring in Jameson Williams to
be the below the top of the defense number 2 guy. Yeah,
exactly. So this is going to be really interesting. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, he could go off as well. It depends what approach they take. I think they're going to take full advantage of the injuries to the cornerbacks the Bucs have, and they're just going to attack with Jared Goff as well. He's a vet. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to read the field, and I don't. Thing is, I want this game to be competitive, but I think they're just going to attack the weakness.
So, if you look at, we know that Baker had a very good performance last week, but it was against the Commanders' secondary, which is known to be the weakness of that defensive unit. They were expecting to have a lot of passing yards against them, and that is what happened in the end. Now, Baker's now facing a secondary which is much improved compared to last season. You've got rookie Terrion Arnold in there. You've got Carlton Davis. Do we think it's going to be a little bit trickier this week, particularly against a better corner unit, even though the Lions did give up a lot of passing yards, but then that was against Cooper Kupp, where they were just dinking and dunking. He had 21 targets last week, which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lions will probably play the same type of defense this week, knowing that the Bucs have an equally talented wide receiver, Mike Evans, and Mike Evans can be double teams. Mike Evans can be a great target, especially on goal balls, on jump balls, on corner routes. He's amazing at those. So I expect the Lions to have the same type of defense, as in keep everything in front of you and don't let them beat you over the top.
So if that happens, would you expect Chris Godwin then potentially to eat in between the numbers?
He could, but the way the Lions defense is playing at the moment is really tough. I think one of the other 2 wide receivers got a breakout. I mean, the Rams, they got affected with Puka Nacua being injured and being forced out of the game, so that contributed to that. But I feel like the Lions defense keep everything in front of them, and also the Lions have a very good sort of stable of running backs and diversified sort of run games. So, and they are playing at home, so I would expect the Lions to kind of win this one.
They should be able to do the business,
that is the expectations. The Lions are expected to win this one.
But not by the 7.5,
I think was it. Yeah, they're 7.5 point favourites with the over under. So they're expected
think
to
that's way
be
too
51
high
points for
because-
scoring. So it's expected to be a reasonably high scoring game, not massively high, but reasonably high.
Yeah. Well, it could be, but no, but I think that's a bit too much. I think whoever wins this game wins it by 3 points. Maybe I don't think it would be like a touchdown win.
Well, even a touchdown win is less than what they're expecting the spread to be. But,
then that's like 0.5.
Yeah, but then they're saying it's even more than a touchdown.
I think it's probably going to be more than that. I'm just thinking of the matchup outside. Like Jameson Williams, Amon Ra against the number 4 corner or a nickel. Like that's a mismatch. Jameson Williams, when he was in Alabama, every corner on that roster was better than the number 4 corner. I
think what it is they're still going to have to establish the run, and when you've got Vita Vea in the middle of that Bucs defensive unit, that is a large man that you're going to have to move.
Yeah, I mean, you want to start inside out, but if you take what the defense gives you, all I know is that from my time playing, you always attack the weakness of the defense. So what they'll do is they'll probably try and see, okay, are these corners willing to tackle? So they're going to off tackle runs. They're going to try and force the issue and see, if it's harder than what they expect, then yeah, they'll bring things inside and they'll see what they can get there. You always want to attack the weakness on the defense. But yeah, I'm expecting Detroit to win this game. I'm probably going to say by 2 scores.
So we've got wide ranging opinions here. So Peter saying it's going to be close, and we've got Will saying it's not going to be close.
I think it's going to be close because I like the combination of Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans now, how he commands this offense. I mean, more than 2 touchdowns, that's huge favor. You're even giving them more odds than the bookies.
Yep.
It's going to be, it's most definitely going to be an interesting game.
You believe in Jared Goff that much?
No,
he believes in it. I think it's just my prediction of like Jared
defense on the outside.
My bold prediction of Jared Goff MVP is just just permeated his brain.
No.
But in all seriousness,
I believe in
Lions are going to win. Yeah, Lions are going to win this game, but it's all about which team establishes the run better, because it could get into a kind of a bit of a dogfight at times, because the game last week against the Rams for the Lions wasn't pretty always. It opened up towards the end when the Lions realised they've got to run the ball and play smash mouth football rather than try and throw the ball all the time. And once they realised that, it got a little bit better for them. But yeah, Lions are going to, in my opinion, Lions are going to win. I'm going to say it's going to be a 6-point margin, so 2 field goals. There'll be something on it towards the end of the game, but Lions to win.
Okay.